So you brought this all the way here today.
Yeah.
From England.
No. This picture was from originally we had this. This is from IKEA. The original picture.
Where pure art comes from.
Yeah. Swedish.
I've heard that. Yeah, Swedish.
Yeah. Flat pack.
Very exotic.
But yeah, we had this up in our apartment for years, and we moved to the house. It just kind of got dumped in the basement, and then I guess about 8 months ago, I was like, just do something with it.
How long have you been working on this then?
Off and on, but a good 3-4 months.
Yeah, because I just remember talking to you about this a while ago.
Yeah, it's probably more than 3-4 months in Adrian time is like 6, 7.
No way.
Maybe it's also I feel like I haven't touched it in months. It's just been on the wall. I've had it at the house displayed.
So like, tell me what's going on though, because I see a bunch of Dalmatians and then other characters. So you, how those get there?
A lot's going on. It kind of evolved as I started. Originally, I guess I looked at the picture and was like, what's going on? This is like a famous street within London. Everyone's like rushing around to their daily commute. It was kind of nice that everything else was black and white and the bus being like the iconic red. And it originally started with the Bambi pictures from this book.
So you cut them from the book?
From this book, yeah. And particularly...
It's such a cool process.
Particularly these books. I don't know if you ever had these books growing up.
I did.
Like, I feel like everybody had the old kind of Disney books. But the illustrations are beautiful because they're all hand-drawn, watercolored.
Look at it. It's like all mangled now.
And it's on nice, like, solid paper. So this was the book I found originally. And then I just thought, like, I put in the Bambi's mother and Bambi. And it just kind of... I just kept going. This sign was a big indicator of what I was going to do. It was like a Piccadilly control flow bus lane accident reduction scheme.
Which sounds nuts.
People must be getting hit because it's such a busy street in London where everyone's walking by, tourists or what have you. So I put a sign up to try and do that. So I kind of made it seem like all these people here are going to get hit.
It's a
matter of fact.
About 62 of the 101 Dalmatians.
So Big Ben kills them all.
And so it started predominantly with Bambi, and then also at the same time I found at the same store, same time, and I didn't know I was going to use it for anything because it was so little. But then the imagery was just great, and there were so many people, and I think because this was probably the largest piece I've worked on, it was kind of fun to have a scene going on and then there's a whole nother world going on.
This is like a glimpse into Adrian's brain. Like, it's crazy because it's never done. Like, this still isn't done. It's not finished.
It's 98%.
Everything Adrian does is art. Like, he'll walk down the street and be like, look at that plant, look at this, and I'm like, and I had a conversation with you. Remember when I called you on the phone? And I was like, Adrian, if people just saw the way you see the world, like, he doesn't understand that everybody doesn't see the world the way he sees it. Yeah. And this is cool, and it just makes me smile, honestly, because it gives a glimpse to, like, you don't have to talk to Adrian if you look at this and, like, really look at everything. Like, we were talking off camera, like, the noose hanging from the lottery board, and he has just everything kind of tied.
There's a lot of little subtleties. Like, I'm even noticing... I don't know which dwarf that is, but he's like cut off past the pole.
Yeah.
Like it looks like he's looking beyond
next
the pole.
Yes,
yeah. Well, this was like I did. This was another like old Disney book that I don't know why I brought it from England. It was like a sticker book where they weren't actual stickers. You had to like cut them out and then like glue them on the page. But I never did, and I had it for like, I don't know, 10 years or so. So there was never any body, and there was no body of her. It just happened to fit perfectly in the window. So the dwarfs are going to Snow White's funeral.
Oh,
you see, like, there's a story.
Yeah.
And then as everything is deliberate. Adrian has like.
And then as I looked into the dwarfs, they're meant to represent the 7 deadly sins of humans.
Yes, I actually am familiar.
Because obviously Disney it's fascinating with Disney where it's created by adults for children, but it always has adult subtleties. It's almost like the early days of like Shrek was. Where like it flies over a lot of kids' head, but the adults like it. So I kind of just went on with that, and something about the Disney illustrations are beautiful on the old books, and like I picked this up for $1.50.
Adrian goes to the thrift store like a few times a week, and it's stuff that like I would never even look at twice. And he'll bring it in, and then he'll explain how he saw it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is beautiful. Like what a score that is for $5.
It's fun to do that. 'Cause I'm not spending. There's no like. If I buy the book and I don't use it, whatever.
Yeah,
or if I find
$2.
one good image, it's worth it.
I like that you contribute so much even to the back space where
Oh,
there's
yeah.
something new that'll pop up, and I know you brought a lot of vintage games and everything else, and that's keeping culture alive, right? Like, there's part of me that was screaming when you picked, like, internally when you picked up the book and I saw the cuts. I'm like, ah.
You got to see the Where Is Waldo.
Well,
Yeah.
you found Waldo and you found a bunch of other people.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was fun to kind of. I mean, you kind of get lost in it. Even same with like the Dalmatians. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to add some of the Dalmatians in there, and then. I put like 5 in, and I'm like, this is really cool.
So where
Mate-
does this go now? Like,
Hold on.
Yeah.
You got to hear
Yeah,
that.
sorry. I did.
You got to hear
Yeah,
this.
I'm ready.
So it doesn't look like it's hard to count, but there is actually 101 Dalmatians.
Oh yeah.
He started like, oh, I'm going to put 5 Dalmatians as a dog. And then there's 101 in here.
Yeah.
And some of them are hidden.
I
like,
covered
in the
a couple
paint.
of them up.
So you would never know it.
Yeah.
Only Adrian
I
knows
could
it.
lie to you and say there is, and you'd believe me.
How else would I know?
How
I guess I count him. But,
And then same with like, I added a few Wells Waldos, but like, I don't know if you'd find them, because it's kind of so...
So he has a game of the Where's Waldo
Within
inside
it.
his piece with the 101 Dalmatians, with the dwarfs going to the funeral. Like,
Yeah.
it's so in depth of stuff. You haven't even pointed out that there's like a
Oh.
3D portion.
I know.
to it.
Yeah.
I've been looking at it this
Yeah.
whole time.
Like,
too.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
It just boggles my mind every time. Like I talk to
that
him.
was an idea I had way back when I was like, oh, I'll do nests, and then I'm like, maybe I'll make it out of sticks, and then
There's one.
and then I was like, I just kind of like the one, and then I was on to the next thing. But yeah, I mean, the more you look, the more you see them, and there's like a bunch of like roadside workers here. There's like Native Americans down here on the teepee, and the cops there like pissed at them. They're on the side of the road and like the smog. It just kind of here. There's a bank robbery going on. There's 2 guys with a painting, and there's police chasing them. Like it's.
I would like to know the answer to your next question.
Yeah,
though.
so
where
what
the
hap-
hell do you go?
What
from
happens
here?
next? Well, first, before you tell me what happens next, what percentage is this done? Like,
Oh, like 98. It's like
Okay,
right
so
there.
it's there.
And
It's
in
right there.
Adrian terms, that's 80.
No.
82.
I've got to stick this guy on, and then my intention was for the bus driver, with the whole AI coming in, where with the action and reduction scheme, the bus driver is going to be a Tesla robot.
How cool is that? Another
So
underlying.
it's like, he don't give a shit. So it's like, who's
doesn't.
liable?
Adrian is like the Eminem of art. Like there's just entendres on top of entendres.
well, I'll tell you this.
It's
you got,
crazy.
and it shows on you too, because you come in styled up. You got
100%.
really sick chains, rings. You always got a different glasses, shoes. I know we can't see them.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty deliberate. And
But
then also
it's so cool, not deliberate. You know what I mean? Like it's deliberate, but only to himself.
yes.
You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah. Like I'm not sitting here saying. Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah. It's like such a nuance, but I had to add that because it's like Adrian just is like he doesn't. When you don't realize what you're doing, that's when you're really doing it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's Adrian. Like he has no idea that he is just like the embodiment of art.
I know this guy is a really cool.
I'm a
artist.
fangirl. I'm
Yeah.
such a fangirl.
This
Number
guy's
one,
really
Adrian
nice.
fan club.
Really great, talented artist, and he's just chilling with tattoos some days, I guess.
Yeah.
We've been probably at it 10 minutes. I don't think we mentioned tattoo once.
No, at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
And this is
Which
just like
his tattoos are phenomenal too, and every bit of it, especially his like stuff that he just comes up with on the top of his head, like your one skull piece. I didn't even realize he stretched. What was the word
the
you
lettering,
stretched up and put?
it said death,
Yeah,
and it was stretched, and then it was backwards, so only the person looking in the mirror could read it.
yeah, and like
So-
you would never know. Nobody
Yeah.
would. I don't think anyone will even ever ask what that says because
No.
it just looks like
it just
it's
looks like
just
some
part
kind of
it.
background pattern slash shape. There's no definition to the letters because they're so like.
So you, a fan of subtleties in the art.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I've been lucky enough where tattooing is like another medium canvas to work with. So yeah, so it's been, and I think being here, it's been more. I've been able to concentrate a little bit more on these two, and I've realized like I need another outlet that isn't just tattooing. I think every artist should.
Yeah.
Multiple. In the realistic world, I feel like you should go home, detract from what you've done that day if you're an artist, and not overanalyze everything. Look at photos, beat yourself up, and hopefully have something in the evening to take your mind off of it, which is another creative outlet, which you have no ambition of where it's going. You should never create anything where like, who's gonna like this? Am I gonna sell it?
I just got
like,
chills.
Yeah.
Because like that is Adrian, the client who came in here just before. I said one quick thing about what we were doing today, showed her this piece, and she asked how much. And Adrian goes, oh, no, like, I can't sell that. Like, every piece that he brings in, everybody asks, like, how much? He's like, no, let's not talk. I've been trying to get him to give me a piece that I'll pay for.
It's coming.
I'm trying to guilt him into it.
It won't charge you.
But that's what makes him, and that's what makes it great, is that, like, he really just does it for... I guess yourself, is that?
Yeah, it's I guess it's like a. I mean, I feel like I have to create, and then it's fun to some you get extremely lost in, you know, and it's almost sounds lame or silly, but like almost a point of euphoric. It's like you're creating the story within the picture, you know, and so I feel like for me it's quite liberating, and I'm not creating it for like. I hope it gets this success, or I hope this group of people like it. It's purely for me. Purely for me.
You mentioned an idea, or not an idea, something about your tattoos the other day where you said, I would love to have a client where I already did a piece for come back, and then you basically add a little something on top of it, like a monster. Because it is very similar to this, where you have this existing...
I didn't hear that. That's cool.
This existing portrait, and then you have added pieces onto it to basically make it. But now there's layer to it. There's like
and it's a fun way to create. You know, I mean, every tattoo artist will agree they love returning clients because you get to see the work, how it's healed. If you want to add extra contrast or crisp up a line or bold up a line from distance so it has more impact from far, because no one's staring at your tattoos like
flat. It's like 3D.
You might walk past them, so you're like 10, 15 feet away. So like it's almost like a piece of graffiti on a wall. You know, it can be vibrant, or so I do enjoy adding sometimes as I go if they're like a returning
Adrian's
customer.
great at that, and actually a lot of the artists here are great at this as well, and it's stuff I'm just adding because I don't think anybody on the other side of it thinks about it. Is like Adrian said, how's it look in the wild? Like, you might get 1 second to see that tattoo. Is it readable?
Yeah.
Can you see it from afar? Can you see it if somebody's waving? Can you see it, you know, it's motion. It's a body. But you mentioned like 99%. Are these meant to be your monsters, the blue?
Yeah, that's why I kind of stopped at a point, because I drew them
and
in.
you guys could clip to his monsters. They're really cool. It's
I
like
have
this thing.
and I have a bunch of pictures that also give you this stuff. But the intention was to turn them into monsters. This guy was going to be a monster kind of half eating the bus.
So you think this is just like his escape, but it's not. Like, it was meant to be.
But then I was like, I think it's just so much going on. In my mind, originally, it wasn't going to be as busy as this by any means. And it just, so I feel like
so that's why you did.
So it would have been like overkill. And also I was playing into a little bit, you know, poking a little bit of the fun with like, obviously politics here, it's like the red or the blue. So that's why I did the blue monster in comparison to the red. There's always that kind of torn, which side of the team you on, you know, like silliness for me, you know, like, I mean, take 10 steps back and look at the bigger picture.
It sucks digesting some of the political landscape, but I think this is a pretty good way of coping with it.
Yeah, I try and like make fun of it. You
Yeah.
know, a little slapstick British humor, and then I think the Disney characters lighten the whole thing, and it makes it playful.
And would you say that you were thinking of the title of this? I forget what you said now.
Yeah, it was like either like forced displacement, which if you like Wikipedia that, it basically gives you the breakdown of like, obviously refugees and people, asylum seekers from all over the world, which they're labelled that from being like torn out of their country because it's not safe to live in, or just a choice to go somewhere that you're not received in another country, and that whole kind of mess that I feel like most of the world's in some regard.
And then you look at all the characters, you know, like Disney characters, this character, that character.
Yeah.
And it all makes sense.
And it's kind of nice that here, like, I guess originally I think like I looked at the original picture on its own to be like, what's going on in the picture? What's the feel of the picture? You know, and it's just like, because there's like all these people going, my original idea was because all these people are like rushing to go to work, all these cars, they don't even see this going on because they're so oblivious in their own little world of like getting up, getting my coffee, going to work, coming home, watching TV, eating dinner,
That's cool.
repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. You know, so I kind of like, that's why I started adding little seasons. I'm like, not even aware of, and I think also like, because a lot of other people aren't aware of other people's circumstances, you know, in the world, which I feel like I try and keep up with, which is like super positive, and also it's quite draining emotionally sometimes, but it helps me create art, you know, that kind of symbolizes all these things in a funny way or a light-hearted way.
So I see that concept's a little different, like even at your station. You like to add little monsters to things.
Yeah.
This isn't quite little monsters, but generally speaking.
Well, so, yes, and saying the monsters is like...
Look at the microphone.
Oh, sorry. The monsters are also just like similar with, I don't know, how I perceive the world, or, you know, the F-ups in it kind of thing, or to me it's just blatantly obvious. I don't know, but it's been a funny graffiti background, and they're just kind of visually good to look at. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
I would say that everything that Adrian does kind of portrays what he's... I think he's an empath to a degree, and like that's his way of dealing with it.
totally, yeah.
You know,
totally.
like let me not get caught up and let everything bog me down in a way. Let me just like take that and then put it over there.
Yeah.
Like put it on the paper. Put it
and
in
I
a
think
tattoo.
it's I mean one of the clips I remember seeing of like the late David Bowie mentioned that he almost seeked out some form of friction to create his writing, to see if it would change depending what the friction was. So he traveled around the world and stayed in very hostile places to see if his writing would change. So he first went from like London to LA, knowing he would hate LA, because he was like, it's all fake, you know. And he's
That's
like,
art, baby.
he's like, I love the real America. He's like the real cities and the plains and like Chicago where people are struggling. And then he went from there, once he started getting recognized, he went all the way there to Berlin and lived within the Berlin Wall and watched families that were torn between the wall.
Jeez.
And his fashion sense, his dressing's changed, and he started doing like portraits of people in suffering, and then went to Japan. And so he always kind of seeked out some kind of friction, which I think is good for an artist. I think if you're all super happy all the time in your little happy world, like, you'll create great work, but it might not have as much depth.
A good friend of mine the other day literally just said the best art is never safe. Like,
No,
you gotta create where-
Really? That's
Yeah,
cool.
That was my friend, Christian.
And I think in currently where I'm in my life right now, like, I'm pretty happy with everything. You know, like, I have a pretty good balance. You know, you know, I get to come here and hang out. You know, I'm not struggling in those other regards. So I'm able to like pour all the effort purely into a canvas or even a tattoo, you know.
You being
like,
happy and little monsters popping up, and that's actually such a cool like representation of that in my mind.
and that's a good sign of where
You just
where
you
I'm
know,
at.
there's a little craziness, there's a little monster pop up here.
Well,
a little monster
I mean,
pop
isn't
up
it
there.
like, aren't we all like a little crazy in our own right?
Yes.
And I think if anything, that makes that makes you human, you know, and also like all of our little imperfections make us amazing who we are, even if it's like, you know, a slight negative one, but like it's true to you. I feel like it's like, I don't know, maybe I got to a point in my life where I'm like, I kind of just know who I am.
Yeah,
And
that gave me chills
yeah,
again,
and
because it's so true about you. Like, that's why he's a great artist, is because he sees like the tiny imperfections or perfections in things and like amplifies it or contrasts it or tweaks it, but he's same in people too. Like, he'll be able to tell you right away he's hilarious, because the best comedians too are able to like pick at your little quirks,
Pick up on the nuances.
Yeah,
or-
nuances, exactly. But I mean, we haven't even touched on half of how he's an artist. Like, started in fashion. He's a landscape artist. His backyard and his yard is the craziest thing you'll ever see. Every time I see a plant, I'm like, I wonder what Adrian's seeing. You know, like everything I do, I'm like, I gotta be cooler. I gotta dress better. Adrian's gonna
how
see
do we
me
be
today.
more like Adrian for
Be
real?
more like Adrian for real.
Well, I mean, you're all artists in your own way, isn't it? I mean, like, everybody is. I mean, it's
Sure.
just different. But I definitely realize another quote from Rick Rubin was like, be curious, you know, and live through like a children's eyes of, you know, curiosity and creativeness. And he's like, and be present in everything you do every day is an art choice.
Yeah.
Like silly shit. Like it could be like you cooking.
Yeah.
You know, what outfit you're going to wear in the morning. Even if you just pick it out, you just randomly pick it off the floor. Driving home, you might decide to take a different route for no reason, but you're like, why not? And then maybe it sparks an initial idea for something. I feel like so. And he was like, living this way will benefit your life in every aspect. You'll be a better husband, better father, you know, better friend. Like it's a good way to just kind of.
I think it's been working for you. I was taking note during the tattoo convention that you were able to have a couple of your own designs be what you worked on, which is I know is always what you shoot for, right? Is
sure, yeah.
Instead of a reference, you get to draw.
It's a tattoo artist's like dream.
100%, yeah. Like I'll even post like dream piece, you know, because it's I've just made it up out of thin air.
Yeah.
You know, there's no
reference.
I like this other artist's work. I'll do something along that line.
And your tattoos are very detailed, like very fine line little pieces of art, which is a little ironic when I look at something like this, where it's like, here's...
You know, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
It is ironic.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I brought up earlier that you wanted to add to your current tattoos, because it really did sort of get my mind rolling of like, wow, I wonder what that looks like.
Yeah. It's weird when you. I remember when I was apprenticing, and a bunch of the artists that I was at the shop with were like, "Don't think you know what your style is going to be."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no, I know what it's going to be." For me, it was like coming from the graffiti kind of background. I'm like, it's going to be super bold, neo-traditional, solid color.
And he's colorblind, by the way. Just an aside.
That was part of the reason why I'm like, maybe not so much
really?
color.
Yeah, he's colorblind.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
why we can't see half of these colors the way we see it.
Is that why you like the Dalmatians so much? Very, very straightforward to the point.
Well, it's the
White,
monochrome
Yeah.
look. I mean, maybe it helps me in some regard, or I mean, I definitely see color. I don't see black and white. No, that's some people are like, you see black and white. But no, I see color, but it's just
Not as vibrant, right?
I don't know.
Or contrasty.
I couldn't even tell you. I mean, it's so
It's just
hard.
the way you see
I'd love
it.
to see it through your eyes for 10 seconds and then yours, and then be like, oh, maybe yours is even different.
I was
You know,
gonna
it's-
make some like snarky, like, oh, I could tell you those Dalmatians are actually pink.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
I've had that all the
yeah.
time. You know, like I used to get the Abraham, you know, sometimes come over and be like,
What color?
that's blue, you know. And I'm like, no, it's red. I'm not.
Abraham, #1 prankster.
No, he's
for
low-key,
real.
Yeah, and his delivery is pretty.
It's great.
Oh, yeah,
It's-
that's what makes it.
He's completely himself. So like, he's not like
But
smirking.
I think about that all the time, and that kind of leads to like me saying in the beginning of like, I wish I could see the world through Adrian's eyes. Is like, who's to say what red is?
True.
Because somebody pointed to the color red when you're a kid and was like, red.
red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you could see it as completely different, and as I see it, it's completely. But
Yeah.
that's just art in general. But I think that's like Adrian's thing. Is like he just sees the world through this like.
Yeah, I'm curious if there in next coming years or so, if there's like an operation to alter the color blindness, like almost like a
Oh yeah,
LASIK.
you'll take a pill and you'll see. You'll be like, oh my god.
Maybe it'd be cool to do like one eye.
And then and then you're not an artist anymore. Like imagine you just lose everything.
Yeah, that would suck. Yeah.
You're gonna turn on a Tesla robot driving that bus.
Yeah.
You'll be running over those Dalmatians.
I feel like I'd do something. I feel like I'd always create. I feel like it's. I think the worst case scenario would be like if you lost vision, and maybe like the use of your hands or something. But
He'd find a way.
yeah, I feel like there's an older gentleman I follow sometimes on Instagram who's. He's got dementia and he's like 87, but he paints every day.
Oh, that's cool.
And he has this cool little like dingy little studio. It's like old paint brushes everywhere and jars of paint, and paints quite beautifully for an old man. You know, it's quite like impressionist and long brushes, super loose, so it's textured. But he'll like just paint like vases he's have in his room, and his daughter records him doing it, which is really nice to kind of capture those moments. And he doesn't really know what's even going on, but he still creates amazing art.
Yeah, it's probably like muscle memory or something. That's
Something.
nuts.
Yeah, because everything else, he looks quite, confused, and he's quite old now, so he's like
Something about that just locks them in. And,
just 'cause I guess he's not second guessing anything. It must be muscle memory where he's just like, it's like riding a bike.
I wish
Like-
that everyone had like a day with Adrian, like just take a day with Adrian, but we can't sit here forever. I wanted to bring this one up because we've kind of been focused on this one.
I I'm just gonna bring it up because I know it's a little hard.
The coolest part about this is what Adrian told me yesterday that I didn't even know about it.
Oh yeah, so the original, I googled the guy who originally did the painting. It was turned into a print. Was it the Peter Ellenshaw, I think it is, on the bottom?
Yeah. P. Ellenshaw.
Yeah. And then when I looked on, when it came up on like Wikipedia, he was a British painter who ended up doing about 20 years work with Disney.
Isn't that cool?
And
really cool.
that happened to be just randomly the images that I use from like the Robin Hood.
It's all Disney characters.
So they're all Disney.
And he didn't do it deliberately.
I
He had
no
no
clue.
idea until after.
No
He's
clue.
like, I want to look this guy up.
Yeah.
I want to pay homage to him.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
No clue. I just looked
it's
up. I
a
was
British guy,
Like, yeah.
and he's done exclusively work with Disney.
Yeah.
And then he's a British
Yeah.
guy.
And
he did all
that
this.
print originally in the frame I found at the thrift store again. It
Dang,
was,
you like channeled something there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was kind of it made sense. It kind of did, but yeah, I was kind of like, wow, what are the chances
Yeah,
of that?
what are the
You know, like,
chances?
and especially it was like I think he passed away like in the late 90s, but I think that painting forever ago. But it was just kind of a cool concept to tie it in even more so that originally a guy that worked at Disney and worked on like 5 of the movies in the early days. We get to like it was all those kind of drawings and paintings, and then it was layered, and it was like layered again. It was layered again, which the digital images just don't have that.
Yeah, they don't. They're
To it,
missing
yeah.
that. It's impossible. That's
Yeah.
why everyone always makes
It's much crisper
yeah.
and cleaner and everything else, but that's like been hand drawn, watercolored, and then they've reprinted it a million times into these books.
Yeah.
You know,
Does he just blow your mind every time he talks?
You are very interesting. For
In
real.
in the best way.
In the best
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Because this is stuff that I think a lot of people will lose that creative spark like growing up. Like
100%.
you
I
could be-
did, yeah. I think
It's slowly taken away from you.
Well, by the time you either pick up a football or a baseball glove, or you get a girlfriend, or whatever happens at that point of your life where you're like becoming a young man or a young woman, and suddenly it's
gone.
But
Yeah.
I think it's impressive you've been able
The
to hold it.
coolest freaking
And
thing in the world. Yeah.
well, the point is this, right? So you're working in a tattoo shop, so it's like, all right, cool, you get to do art every day, but then you do have the expansions of this stuff. So,
And here's the thing too is like, so from afar, from like a 50-foot view, people would say like, oh, Adrian, he's doing fairly simple, tattoos. These people who come in for like a simple tattoo, I want them to know so bad. Like, you have no idea who.
Yeah, it's like a little secret.
You have like the artist doing this, like the guy you want doing this is doing it, and it might take longer, and it's just because Adrian's just doing what he literally loves to do. Like, he's sitting down and he's getting lost, completely lost. And sometimes I'll like be like, Adrian, whatever. He was like, no, that was 10 minutes. I was like, no, that was like an hour. And he literally has like,
It's
you
fun.
can't tell
Yeah.
him otherwise, like, because he's completely lost in what he does. And I think like for everybody that watches, everybody that hears, everybody, like, that's what you want in life. Like something that you lose track of time over, and that's cool.
I mean, in a reality, if money wasn't the constraint of like, oh my god, I got to earn money, most people would pick a different route.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'd be like a video game player.
Yeah, it's like
I tried.
so it's like obviously, and then from obviously being here, we're kind of creating that world where there is that freedom to be curious and try things, and I mean, I feel like I'm, it's exciting to see what's kind of going to come next. If anything, it's but I enjoyed the multiple outlets of creating. I mean, my wife doesn't always 100% get it, but she's not creative in that regard. She's a great writer, but she's not visually an artist, but she did actually mention when I took it off the wall this morning.
She's like, wait, where's that
Because
going?
it fits upstairs on our landing. It takes up the
Wait
whole
a second.
fucking wall. It takes up the whole wall. She went, what are you taking out? I was like, oh, just to work, just to. She's like, I kind of got used to it being there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
It's big.
And plus, I had it. I
naked.
had it on a. I had it on a wall, which I did like a feature wall, which was like thin brick. So that's on a brick wall. So it really kind of just pops.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
do you have the original picture of this picture?
yes,
'Cause that'd be
yeah,
cool
on my
to see.
phone, yeah.
We could
Yeah,
probably.
I have about probably like 10 to 20 only photos of different stages of the starting of this, and then it has it kind of
And
progressed.
just here as we wind things up, I know people are going to want to buy stuff like this. Adrian has promised me that he's going to make a few of these that are actually for sale. So.
Yeah.
Now we got it on camera. Though. He can't.
I said to Jay earlier, like, this was tough because this was like I haven't done like collage before, so I didn't really know if I was going to like where it went, or I might at the end of the day hate it. So I didn't know. So it was kind of an experiment. And then while I was almost finished that one, I started that one over there, and then so I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool, and it's So I've been stacking up these books. I have about 50.
Wow.
Just show
Maybe
one of the
more.
Where is Waldo's pages real quick, just so people
those
could
are
see
funny.
like more of the process.
Well, this was this is the original one, I think it was. Yeah.
Can we see that camera?
Let's see what I got.
There, probably actually.
Yeah.
Like they're torn up.
I mean, you can kind of see they're just
Like you're talking about a Where is
Yeah.
Waldo, where the things are this big.
Right.
He's sitting there with
Yeah,
an
look at that
X-Acto knife.
one.
That's a good
He's
page.
sitting there
Yeah,
with an X-Acto knife
I
one by
kept
one.
it because there was still potentially some gold within this, if you look hard enough.
But now I told him earlier, I'm like, it's easier to make new pieces because you kind of know where to pull from. Like your inventory.
Yeah, and I've been like everywhere I go, if I go to like a new thrift store and I happen to find these, or even on eBay, I bought some that weren't incredibly expensive or anything. I've kind of just stocked them up. So I have. Also, it lends to like another piece that could be a completely different subject matter.
Yeah.
Because I might have such good imagery for that.
And then the beauty of all this too is like now that you feel like it got a decent look into your brain. Like the beauty is you could come in here not every day because he's booked and things like that, but you could get a piece of art from Adrian, a true artist, on your body. Like that's what tattooing is.
Well,
It's like no, I don't want this piece. I want this artist. You know what I mean? Like I want something from his brain.
it sounds like you barely even tapped in because you'll have your base tattoo designs, but over time, who's to say it doesn't look like a collage like that
who
over
knows?
your original design?
I'm not opposed to it. I'm kind of it's nice to see where it's going to go. I mean, definitely I'd love to start maybe try and do some color, but I mean the colorblind thing definitely messes me up a
That's
little.
it's a bit of a barrier.
So maybe I've got to like tread lightly into that. But yeah, I definitely feel like the more you tattoo, the more your style starts to
Morph into its own.
yeah, and it takes time. And I guess look at Oscar for example. He changes his style up all the time.
Yeah.
And also just to keep things exciting and refresh and
That's how you do it for 30 years.
yeah. Otherwise,
You
you get burnt out, and a lot of times your art suffers and it's noticeable. There's a decline. So Oscar's always kind of like, sometimes I feel like he mashes like 3 of his old styles together and makes something new,
Yeah.
and he's super excited about it, which is
Awesome.
and it's, it gets everyone else kind of excited about it because it's like, to stay in any industry 30 plus years is a feat on its own and still love doing it.
Yeah, I feel like Oscar is a really good model for being hygienic around his creativity. Like he keeps it fresh.
I like that,
right? I was just thought of that right
yeah,
now.
artistic, how do you say it?
Hygienic.
Hygienic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, you're taking care of it.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
cultivating it, and
Yeah.
then it
Yeah,
progresses,
that's
right?
it.
And that's how
I
hygiene
like
works.
that.
Yeah, and same with him. He has multiple other outlets that aren't just tattooing.
Yeah, music.
Yeah, and he still loves his fashion, and he's into collectibles, and
It's true.
It is
You
way
know.
too easy to burn out right now. We just see so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So artist, designer, and
Everything fashionista, gardener, super dad, super husband.
oh,
He has a deaf dog.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
If you wanted me to just go for 50 minutes on
It's
Adrian,
true,
I can.
it's true,
But
actually. There's a
Adrian,
lot
if
of
there's
these
I don't
things.
know. I think we did a pretty good
Yeah,
job.
this was great,
keeping it.
Yeah, I think it's a good little encapsulation. And one last shout out is to your stickers. They're always the first to go. I was paying close
nice.
attention to
Because
the
he's
invention.
designing it.
Yeah,
like,
they're
every
truly
bit of it,
designed pieces. So
Yeah.
it's cool stuff, man.
Yeah, I got to just kind of keep up with those. For me, I struggle with like just sometimes the consistency of
Yeah.
it kind of comes in like
well,
ways
and
a
true
little bit.
artist
Nature of the
ways.
beast.
A little, yeah. But I'm kind of starting to lock in. And also, I was excited to do this just to have just little snippets of like, videos I can use and maybe start being a bit more consistent with posting.
I think it's almost like we should be studying the brains of just like when you could do
Nah,
this.
I'm hoping I could study Adrian's
So
brain when he's long gone.
the best we could do right now is get you some online. Like now,
We
you're,
need a part 2.
This is forever.
We might need a part
Yeah,
2.
we'll get in there. I want to get you on with the other artists. We'll do
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
for
because
sure,
that'll be
but-
cool.
Yeah.
You're talking to like 2
Yeah,
noobs.
Yeah, but it was nice just to talk about the art a little bit too, because it's neither of you saw this either, and I only brought
No.
that piece in the other day.
No,
so
not in person.
And I
I've
feel
been
like,
seeing
and I feel like I've
pictures of it.
I've been showing little pictures and
Little teas.
Max forever ago was like, "Where the fuck's the picture, man?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's not finished." He's like, so like, like it was kind of nice.
Sounds right. Sounds about right.
Oh, that miss.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up here. Day's about to start. Adrian,
Hell yeah!
thanks, man.
Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you so much, guys. That was amazing.
Perfect timing.
That was fun.
That was.